G'day, have I got a story for you? Check the disclaimer. Season 1, episode 62. Niggles. This really niggles at me. Why am I even here? Why do I have to follow this man around? I'm learning nothing. I already know all this. And now I'm expected to watch him perform tests on a baby. Well, almost a baby. Why? I'm sure I could easily perform any tests myself without him. I want to be involved in finding life-saving medicines, not watching old men giving tests to a toddler. As we walk closer to the child, I can see that she is older than I first thought, but she is so small. Is she maybe 3 or 4? She looks at me and I can see that she is afraid. What have they done to her? It makes me want to just pick her up and run away with her to somewhere where no one will hurt her. She is shivering. Where are her clothes? I hear other children screaming from other rooms. And was that a man's scream as well? A woman is standing nearby. Is she her mum? Maybe I should introduce myself. This old man is ignoring her, and she hasn't even looked my way, so I suppose I should just watch, which is what I've been told to do. I look around for the child's clothes, but can't see any. I see a woman walk past the doorway with a naked child. Did that child have bruises all over her? Is abusing children a normal thing here? Why? What on earth is happening here? I don't like it. These aren't scientific laboratories. They're chambers. Looks like we're going somewhere else. I suppose I'll follow, since I've been told to watch. Oh, I don't think that woman is the child's mum. She's gripping her arms so tight, and I saw the child wince in pain. They also look nothing alike. The child has blonde, thick hair, and the woman has brown, thin hair. Their features are completely different. I glance in the rooms as we go past the viewing panes. What are all these machines doing to these people? Why are some of them screaming? There are scientists in there with them. Are they injuring them on purpose? I don't like it here. I was valedictorian. I could have chosen to go anywhere, and I chose here. I was told that this facility has the newest equipment and has the greatest opportunity for advancement. Advancement to what? Do they realise who they've asked to watch an old man all day? It still niggles at me. Anyone could do this, whether they're a scientist or not. Why? Why am I following this man? We walk into a room with 2 small sleeping children strapped to chairs. The woman sits the child on a chair, puts headphones on her and odd-looking glasses, then straps her to the chair, just like the other 2. She then walks to the room across the hall where she sits with 2 other women who look just like her. Triplets, that's unusual. Actually, this whole place is unusual. I feel like I've walked into a dream. No, a nightmare. I hope I wake up. Why is he clipping those things over her arms and legs? I want to get out of here. I want to choose somewhere else to work. This is all just too intense for me. I follow the old man. Is he a scientist? I mean, just because he's wearing a white lab coat doesn't make him a scientist. Why haven't I been issued a white coat? Oh, there's another cold child with a woman. We're walking towards the elevators. Should I leave? I want to leave. This place seems too unfeeling for me. I want to go back to the room with the 3 little blonde-haired girls and leave with them. I'm sure my mum would be happy to take care of them. Anything is better than here. Oh, but the door was locked, and I don't know the code. This is ridiculous. This has got to be a night. Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! This can't be real. I want out of this nightmare. I hear my name over the speakers. I am to report to the office. I don't know where that is. The old man points to the stairwell and tells me that it's one level up. Turn left at the top of the stairs and the third door on the right. As I climb up the stairs, I'm relieved that the screams are quieter, muffled by the stairwell. I wonder why he didn't tell me to take the elevator. But it's only one level up, so that's okay. Maybe they realised I should be doing something else besides following an old man around. I walk in the office and the woman at the desk tells me to sit down and that she will be with me in a minute. She is helping a woman who is holding a little child's arm much too tight. A familiar sight here, I'm realising. I sit on the end chair and smile at a little dark-haired girl 2 seats over. I wonder if children's clothes even exist here. Why are they all girls? Are there no boys? What are children even doing in this facility? I was told this facility is the leader in scientific research and has the most success. So why all these little girls? Why all these naked, cold little girls? As the door opens, the screams are much louder, and the woman walks out with the child still in her grip. The other woman at the desk beckons to me, so I go over to her desk. She puts a blank piece of paper in front of me and tells me to pick it up and pretend to read it because we're being watched. Okay. Is this some sort of prank on the new guy? Isn't this going a bit far? I'll play along, I guess. I'll listen to what the woman is saying. So, I'm supposed to believe that the little child in the corner chair with all those wires attached to her is some sort of fairy that will magically get me out of here. But if she does, I should never come back. Oh, come on now. That is...
Christopher!
The child spoke. How does she know my name? Chris, I say. My mum is the only one who calls me Christopher. I look at her, not much more than a toddler, with such thick hair trailing down her back. She is the first person who has actually looked me in the eyes since I got here. The dark-haired girl is not happy that she spoke. She puts her finger to her lips and quietly says, "Shh." The woman tells me to stay where I am, look at the paper, and that little one will speak in my mind. What? Speak in my mind? Are you kidding me? Okay, so I'm either dreaming
Chris,
or they...
Chris, I will always help people. I could help you. I'm pleased to meet you, Chris.
Did I hear that in my head? Or with my ears? Oh, those screams.
I could help you if you like.
Oh, definitely in my head. Wake up! 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 Wake!
Chris! Christopher, please listen. There's not much time. I can remove your name from the entry register. Your papers are now in Stella's hands, the woman in front of you. You need to choose now. Does she throw them in the bin or put them in the file?
If this is real, the bin. But what about the cameras, I ask?
Please don't speak out loud. I hear your thoughts. The register is now blank. Cameras are malfunctioning right now, including the recordings for today. There will be no trace of you left for anyone to find. If you could put the maintenance belt and coat on that Stella hands you, you could stay with me. If you go where I go, I can tell you when it's safe to leave. Here's the plan.
Did that little one really come up with that plan? She is so young. I'm surprised she even knows what a plan is. I'm still wondering if this is all an elaborate joke. Actually, it's just too awful to be a joke. I go out the door and stand waiting. Another young man wearing a white lab coat joins me and quietly asks me if I am Christopher. I nod and ask, "Are you Alberto?" He whispers back, "Bert, my mama is the only one who calls me Alberto." I smile, just for a second, until I hear the next scream. I'm looking forward to getting out of here, but I wish I could just fill a car with children and take them home to my mum. I hear the voice in my mind.
Do you really want to do that?
Yes, I do. We are now following the child and another old man down the hallway. As we enter the elevator, I hear in my mind,
Talk to your mum. If you are sincere, I can arrange it. Adoption papers as well. I know the 3 girls you are thinking of. You will need to seriously decide how many and approximate ages. And there are boys who need to be rescued too. I will ask again when everything is ready.
I can hardly believe it. I think to her, "What about you? I could be your big brother." She answers,
I can help more people if I stay.
I ask, "But don't they hurt you?"
It is worth it if I can help people. It is my choice. I choose to stay and help people.
We enter the helicopter, and as the old man sits in the front with the pilot, he tells the woman to keep the girl awake. I hear,
Make sure you put the seatbelt on tight.
Bert and I grab for our seatbelts at the same time. So she's in his head too. We go to many different places, and this old man, the mangler, gets the pilot to fly erratically, as though he wants one of us to fall out. At many different places, he tells the child to do many different things, using her mind. It seems like he's trying to make her hurt people and animals, but she outwits him every time, and somehow keeps everyone and everything safe. How does she do all these things? How does she make it seem like Bert is a mind expert? How does she make it seem like I actually know how to perform maintenance on these machines? I don't even know what they do, and I certainly can't fix them. So how does she know? And how does she make them work? She is a child, a little child, with a scientist's vocabulary and maintenance skills that she accomplishes with her mind. This makes no sense. I was apprehensive, but when she told me to ask the mangler if he wanted me to do what she is asking in my mind, he said that he did. Every time she asks. That made things a little easier. I rescued kittens from a trap that was thrown into the lake that she brought to the surface next to me, and a little monkey that they threw at a crocodile. That was hard. She told me to open the boot of a car that was about to be wrecked, and there was a woman in there tied and gagged. When I helped her out, she was petrified of the mangler. I wondered if he was the one who put her in there, or maybe ordered someone to put her in there. She was asked to uproot trees, make shapes with clouds, shatter windows, burn down a school, levitate, remove water from a lake, dismantle houses, make a split in the ground, open and close doors, pick a bunch of flowers, blow up a house, blow up a car, and sing without opening her mouth, all done with her mind. Of course, she didn't do all of those things. It was like she chose what she would do and not do. She refused to do anything that would hurt anyone, and also refused to hurt any living things, including animals, insects, birds, sea creatures, and she would not damage trees and plants. That last one, regarding singing without opening her mouth, was hilarious. It involved a lecture for everyone who could hear how ventriloquism worked. The mouth should not move, but if the mouth is not open, anything performed would be muffled. Needless to say, very few of these tests accomplished what the mangler wanted. The cloud shapes were interesting. Every time he asked for a shape that she didn't like, for example, a cat eating a mouse, she would make the shape what she did like. That one was a cat and a mouse asleep together. The mangler explains that 2 trucks are about to have a head-on collision, and he wants her to save the people in one truck. According to him, the people in the other truck don't matter. She makes both trucks' wheels slow down and stop. The drivers are still trying to make the wheels turn at top speed, so she turns off the motors and makes both keys float to her hand. As she hands the keys to the mangler, I hear her say out loud,
"Every life is precious. Every life is worth the effort."
He is not happy. He is thinking that only his life is precious and only his life is worth the effort. It's interesting hearing his thoughts. He still wants her to let people die through inaction. That is so ridiculous. Can't he see by now that she will never let that happen if she is able to save them? Oh, she's telling me to walk to the other side of this truck and get in the car. What car? Oh, a car pulls up and the woman says,
"Let's go."
I get in and we drive away. I hear the voice once more in my mind.
"I'll be in touch regarding the children. Goodbye, Chris."
She's gone. I liked her in my head. She was so gentle, it was peaceful. I still don't understand why she didn't want revenge on all those people who hurt her. She wants to help them. Such a different way of thinking. I chat with the lady who picked me up. She seems really nice. When we get to my house, I invite her in. We both want to continue discussing our experiences we've had with little one, although I'm still wondering if I am dreaming. We find it amusing that my name is Christopher and I am known as Chris, and her name is Christina, and she is also known as Chris. Chris, the girl one, Christina, tells my mum and I how little one, who she calls Quiet Whisperer, helped her.
I went to an interview for a position as tech specialist. I had all the qualifications, but they gave the job to a male, of course. They offered me a position as lab assistant, and I decided to take it because for a woman, anything in the scientific field was preferable to being a waitress to make ends meet. The minute I arrived, I knew I made a mistake. I didn't belong there. I wasn't even sure where I was. The limo that picked me up had darkened windows, and the elevator went down so many levels, and then I was deep underground. I couldn't even open a door without a code, and the men were sniggering at me when I walked past. I was taken to a room, and the man said that he was surprised that we were first there. He told me to put my uniform on in the back room and that he'd be back momentarily. I went into the back room that was not an office or a lab. It was an elaborate-looking bedroom. There were no uniforms, but there were 3 sets of clothes, none of which I would ever wear. 2 other women walked in, and they also looked mortified. All 3 of us thought we were going to be lab assistants there, and we were all hoping they took us to the wrong room. I hear a quiet whisper in my mind. And before I can say anything, the woman on my right says that she heard someone speak in her mind. And it sounded like a tiny child. All three of us were not sure what to do. We couldn't get out of the rooms because the doors were locked. The quiet whisperer told us exactly what to do, where to go and when. And after she unlocked the door for us, we just did whatever she said. When we heard loud, angry men looking for us as we hid in the janitor's closet, we knew that without Quiet Whisperer's help, we would not be seeing our families again. We finally got back to the elevators and rushed to the first one that opened. It went up a bit but stopped partway between two floors. And what Quiet Whisperer told us, well, we were not sure whether to believe it or not. Sure enough, the swirling circle of air appeared. We linked arms and stepped towards it together. When we got close, it sort of drew us in. There was a whooshing sound and I felt a bit dizzy, but that quickly subsided and we were in an elevator, a different elevator. We pressed a button, and when the elevator moved, the circle thing that we stepped out of vanished, just as she said it would. The elevator looked familiar to me, but I couldn't work out where it was until the doors opened. I had been shopping there many times. We three stood still in amazement. How did we get from such a long distance away, from deep underground, to there? All three of us knew where we were and how to get home. We were all so grateful. I decided being a waitress wasn't so bad after all. I stared out the window of the bus on my way home, thinking about what Quiet Whisperer said. She erased every trace of us being there, disposed of any forms and papers containing our names, addresses, etc. She removed us from camera recordings, and the scientists could not remember any details regarding us. They thought they didn't need to. They assumed we belonged to them and could never escape. I hugged my parents and brother when I got home. I was so glad to see them. I have not spoken to anyone concerning these things until today. Quiet Whisperer warned us not to mention it to anyone, unless it's someone she sends to us who needs help or someone she deems safe. This is the first time Quiet Whisperer has asked me to help her. I have been waiting such a long time to hear her quiet whispers again, and today was the day. It is a relief to be able to speak of it. Christopher's mum joins in on the conversation, but I'm not sure if she believes us. We certainly won't be talking to anyone else about it, unless Quiet Whisperer directs us to. Most people would probably think we imagined everything. Eventually, I think it's time to leave. But when Christopher opens the front door, he says that Bert and his driver are here. They, of course, come in, and the conversation continues well into the night, with Bert and one of the women I escaped with, Bert's driver. I think that Christopher's mum is starting to believe us now. She even said that if those girls Christopher spoke of really exist, she wants all three of them, and 3 boys too. I love children. I wonder if others also need a loving home. Thank you so much for joining me with a cuppa. I appreciate your company.